following is a presentation of the Dragon Sports Network.
From atop the Emerson Brewer press box at the EDC broadcast booth, we welcome you to Paul H. Muse Field at David Carpenter Stadium and to game night here on the Dragon Sports Network. I'm Wayne Pumphrey, and I'm joined up here with our producer, the old ex-Wildcat, Mr. Denton Ashcraft. And, of course, tonight a big game for Junction City as they take on for the 12th time their Union County rivals, the Parkers Chapel Trojans. And, folks, to say it is a huge game for both teams is an understatement. Parkers Chapel comes in with a 1-3 record, but that one win was over Bearden last week in conference play. Junction City comes in with a 2-4 record, 0-1, 0-1 in conference play with a loss to Fordyce last week. So tonight, you can say for Parkers Chapel is keeping pace for the 8AA conference title. For Junction City, you want to stay in that race, but you're really looking at that number 2 seed right now. And to get it, you've got to get a win tonight. Right now, we're going to go to the Ameriprise Financial Coaches Show with Coach Brad Smith. And, folks, I'm going to tell you, it was short, sweet, and to the point with Coach Smith this evening. Sit down, visit with him just briefly, and talk with him a little bit off the record. But right now, let's go to the Ameriprise Financial Coaches Show and hear what he had to say. Coach, your thoughts on the Fordyce game?
Hey, man, played good for a half and about a quarter and a half, and then just fell apart when things went wrong. Sort of what's the way we did at BB.
On Parkers Chapel tonight, you got the Trojans coming in, big conference game. Offensively, what did the Trojans do?
Oh, anything and everything. They try to get the ball to their best kid, number 7. They move him from tailback to split end to quarterback to only place we hadn't saw him is on the offensive line.
Defensively?
Defensively, they're multiple. Look like they play some 34, some 43, maybe some 50 stack. Good stuff.
Tonight, what do you need out of the Dragons?
We just need to put 4 consistent quarters together. That's something be nice to see.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
You bet, man.
And that was Coach Brad Smith talking about tonight's game. I talked with Coach Smith briefly about what's been going on and stuff. And the main thing was this: get everybody healthy that we can get back, get them ready, and just eliminate mistakes, eliminate turnovers, the things you'd hear a coach normally say. And you could tell a little frustrated, but he's still upbeat for the most part. You got to get a win. You get a win in conference play, that'll help things out. Junction City getting ready to take the field. The captains for the Dragons coming up, number 3, Jamal Johnson, and I believe that is number 8. We'll wait till he turns around here to make sure and see. Yes, that is Miller. Parkers Chapel, they did not get here till about maybe 15, 20 minutes ago, so we do not have a roster on them. We were trying to get one, but I don't believe they had brought any with them. But anyway, the Trojan captains across the field. Okay, I do know number 7, Lancer Clark, and I believe we'll try to see if we can still round up one here in a minute and get some of their names for you. Right now, we're going to step away for 30 seconds. When we come back, we'll be getting ready for the 12th meeting between Junction City and Parkers Chapel here on the Dragon Sports Network. Captains are at center of the field. We're getting ready for the coin toss. Junction City, as I mentioned a while ago, coming in with a 2-4 record, looking for their first conference win. Parkers Chapel with a win over Bearden last week. That was also their first win of the season, coming in with 1-3 record. And the Trojans looking to go 2-0 in conference play. To do that, they'd have to make a little bit of history. Parkers Chapel has never beaten Junction City. The Dragons lead the series 11-0, the 12th meeting between these two. And needless to say, here in mid-October, a huge game in the 8AA conference. And I believe we are ready. Junction City will receive and defend the south end zone. Trojans will defend the north end zone. And we are very close to getting this one started. It is a beautiful night here. We had a little bit of rain come through, kind of threw things off, and then kind of cleared up. And then we had a little, not much, just a little bit more, but now, right now, just a nice little breeze blowing. And so far, a perfect night for some football. Dragons experiencing something they haven't experienced in a season in 24 years, and that is a 3-game losing streak. Last time they had that in the same season, 1997. And the Dragons take the field. And I might also add they have several freshmen up with them tonight. And Smith said that some of them will definitely see action. I did ask him about Corey DeBose. He said next week, and that was it. So as it stands, it'll still be the Hampton game. Hopefully we get quarterback Corey DeBose back. Trojans set to kick it off. Junction City getting ready to send the return unit onto the field. And the 12th battle between the Trojans and Dragons about to get underway. Homecoming in Junction City. Williams, number 4, back deep, along with Johnson, number 3. Johnson's going to stand at about the 15. Williams back on his 5. And the Trojans are going to kind of pooch kick it down. And I believe that is going to be Smith, not sure, is on the far side of the field. He didn't know for sure if he wanted to return it or not. But he does try to make a little bit of a run. He'll get over the 35 to about the 37. That's where Junction City will go to work 1st and 10. Jamal Johnson, your quarterback. A.J. Ivory will be in the backfield with him. And the Dragons go to work 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line. Bottom of the screen, Jacob Smith at the top, Ryan Allen. First down, he'll go to Ivory. Ivory with some running room, busting through. Trojans goes over midfield to about the 48 of Parkers Chapel, and that's what you want to see your offense do right off the bat, get 15 yards on the first play of the game. They're going to back him up just a little bit and say his knee was down at the 49, so 14-yard gain. First play for A.J. Ivory. And Junction City trying to get that offense rolling pretty good. We got a little bit of movement and dragging offensive line. And that will back them up 5. Couple of homecoming activities going on tonight as far as reunions. Class of 2011, shout out to them from their leader, Brennan Cupp. And I believe class of 80 and 81 getting together tonight. Woo, some big numbers there, 40th and 41st reunions. So 1st and 15. Again, Ivory on the call. This time the Trojans wrap him up, but he breaks loose, busts over midfield, goes to the 48. He gets back to penalty yards and just a little bit of the initial yards he was needing earlier, so they're going to put it down to 48. We're going to call it 2nd and 9. Just underway from the Muse. Again, Ivory. Again, running room for Ivory as he blasts over the 45 down to about the 40. And it will bring up a 3rd and short situation for the Dragons. Going to say 3rd and 1. And so far, it's been all A.J. Ivory. Junction City starting this initial drive from their own 37-yard line. So 3rd and 1. Johnson in the gun. The give. Ivory, first down and more. Goes to the 35-yard line. And that'll move the chains. And the Dragons, fresh set of downs from the PC 35-yard line. $9:50 opening quarter. Junction City looking good here now. A pass. This is going to be completed. There's room down the sideline, and it will be a touchdown for Junction City. A little flare pass to Key. He takes it from the 35 end, and the Dragons draw first blood here. 9:38 remaining, first quarter. Junction City on the board, 6-zip. And they will go for 2. Nice little change of pace. They've been feeding Ivory, having success. And it was kind of a little pop pass to Key, and he took it down the sideline, 35 yards. Ivory gets the call on the 2 points, bulldozers his way in. 9:38 remaining, opening quarter. Our score, Junction City 8, Parkers Chapel nothing. You're watching Dragon football on the DSN. $9:38 remaining in the opening quarter. Junction City using 2 minutes and 22 seconds to go 63 yards. They finished it off with a 35-yard touchdown pass from Johnson to Key. And like I said, it was a little, I call it pop pass, little tunnel screen type pass. And Key got a little bit of room on that sideline and took off. Ivory finished off with a 2-point conversion run, and that's where we stand, 8-zip, as Jamal Johnson has the ball teed up, ready to kick it off. And I tell you what, Denton, that breeze feeling good right now. It is blowing in here good. They say right behind it, though, is a cold front. And the Dragons will pooch kick it. Trojans will field it. Fair catch it at the 40. I believe that is going to be, yes, the 44-yard line, and that's where they'll go to work, 1st and 10. When talking with the Junction City coaches, they mention one name over and over, Lancer Clark, number 7. He is their go-to guy. So Parkers Chapel, their opening possession. They'll start from their 44, 1st and 10. Junction City. Defense ready to go, and I believe they're going to catch them right off the bat in a hurry to, unless there was a movement. I didn't see a movement on the Trojan line, and there wasn't. That's on the Dragons, 5-yard penalty. That'll bring the ball up to the 49-yard line, and the Trojans with a 1st and 5. Trojans have 2 twin sets to the top. Back, they're going to throw on 1st down. That's to Clark. He's got running room down to the 32-yard line, let's call it. 1st down, and a nice little play. They had 2 twin sets at the top. Clark breaks across. They feed it to him, and a nice run. First and 10, a high pass that goes out of bounds. Overthrow Clark. It'll be second down and 10. Ball sits on the Dragon 31-yard line. Trojans again, they got trips to the top. They bring a man in motion. It's going to be a keeper by the Trojan quarterback. He will get right past the line of scrimmage. No more as Hudson brings him down. It brings up a 3rd and 10. Parkers Chapel showing a lot of different formations at the moment. As far as with wideouts, they'll put 2 twins to the top. They may put one in motion coming back to the bottom or send a man in motion to the top. So trying to throw the Dragons off here. 3rd and 10, and again, Junction City not being smart. And they're going to give the Trojans 5 yards. Coach Smith talked about it. He said, I like the aggressiveness. We just got to be a little more focused. Third and 5. Ball is low snap. Now it's bobbled. And Junction City all over the Trojan quarterback will bring him down at the 35-yard line. That will be a loss of about, I'm going to say 4. They were right behind the chains. But that now puts them back at the 35. So it's going to be 4th and 15 for Parkers Chapel. And they will definitely go for it here. They're on the Junction City side of the field. And again, they have trips to the top, twins to the bottom, low snap again. This time it's going to be, I'm not sure what was going on. He was trying to go to Clark, but badly overthrew him. And on the change of downs, Junction City will take over at the 35, at their own 35-yard line, 1st and 10. 8 minutes, 11 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. And the Dragons, with their second possession of the game, will go to work 1st and 10. Smith at the bottom of the screen, split out wide. Ryan Allen at the top. This is Williams in the backfield. This time he's got some running room. Plows through hard. There's a fumble. And they're saying that the Williams was down before the ball come out. Clark had recovered it, but they say Williams' knee was down at the 38-yard line. We're going to go to the USW scoreboard real quick. Darnell up on Fordyce 7-0, first quarter, of course. So it'll be 2nd and 7. Williams picking up 3. He gets the call again. This time he's having to dodge would-be tacklers, and he does, and plows over the 40 to around the 42-yard line. See where they spot it. Nice run by Williams. He got the handoff, and he immediately had to dodge some tacklers that did a very good job of it and turned what could have been a loss into a gain of, we're going to call it 3. So it's going to be 3rd and 4. 7 minutes remaining, opening quarter. Johnson feeds Ivory. Ivory takes it to the outside, got running room, cuts back. He's at the 30, 25, 20, 15. He will be brought down inside the 10 or right near the 10, right inside the 10-yard line. A.J. Ivory with a run of about 44 yards. And hold everything on the far side. There is a flag. Ivory looked like he was going off tackle with it, then did not have much room there, just bounced it to the outside and took off. And a block in the back. So a 44-yard gain gets wiped out on 3rd and 4. And it is now 3rd and 10, and Junction City is basically back where they started at the 35-yard line. Here's a give. This is going to be Christopher Norman. He's got the first down and more. He goes to the Dragon 49. And I believe he caught that on the bobble. It was a little kind of reverse run. The Dragons looked like they were going off tackle with it. They pulled Norman back against the flow. He breaks through to get about 14 on that one. And it is the Dragon first down at their own 49-yard line. So Junction City overcomes the penalty, overcomes a 3rd and 10, fresh set of downs. Williams on the go again. Williams just plows through, keeps going, drives over the 45 of Parkers Chapel to close to the 44. And that will be a pickup of about 7. So it'll be 2nd, and let's call it 4, a gain of 6. Call it 2nd and 4 from the Trojan 45. Junction City once again in Parkers Chapel territory. Second drive of the game for the Dragons. They lead at 8-0. This is Williams and running into Trojans immediately, and now flags fly after the play, and it's coming from the Parkers Chapel secondary, I guess you would say. Let's see what this is going to be. Penalty on the Trojans. And that was had to be unsportsmanlike conduct. I believe that is a signal he give, and it is a 15-yarder. New set of downs for the Dragons as they are now at the Trojan 31. And Coach Smith is immediately pulling he's talked to a couple of the Dragons, letting them know, hey, let's settle down, let's settle down. It was on the Trojans, but his point being, don't listen to the talk. It's getting chirpy already. As this is going to be Williams, a nice run by Williams. He goes over the 30, over the 25 to about the 24. Good run by Williams. And Junction City steadily rotating people in and out. Key checking back in, who scored the initial touchdown. Clock shows 4:50 remaining, opening quarter. Dragons on top, 8-0. Looking to put some more on the board here, hopefully. They bring Twins to the bottom. Williams gets the call, goes through the 20, 15. Williams lowers the boom and drives to the 10. And another Dragon first down. It's going to, in fact, it's good. It got tackled right outside the 10, so it gives Junction City a chance to get another set of downs, even if they don't score. The ball's going to be spotted. They'll put it down now at the 11-yard line. So 1st and 10, Junction City. 4:20 remaining, first quarter. And the Dragons, starting this drive from their own 35, have so far driven to the Trojan 11. This is going to be A.J. Ivory at the 5. Touchdown, Junction City. Ivory swings it outside and scores from the 11-yard line. And with 4:07 remaining first quarter, Junction City now leading 14-0. And as their custom, they will go for 2. Key checking in to give the play to Johnson. And we are set here. Johnson gives to Ivory. Ivory is hit, breaks loose. Yes, he's in. I don't know. That last surge got him in. With 4:07 remaining in the first quarter, Junction City now leads at 16-0. You're watching Dragon football on the DSN. Back in 30. 4:07 remaining first quarter. The Dragons, 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns, and 2 two-point conversions to go with it. They lead at 16-0. Parker's Chapel, their first possession went from their 44 to the Dragon 31, turned it over on downs. They're about to get it for the second time. And so far, if you're grading the Dragons, defense looking good. Got to give them about an A-, and the same, well, actually for the offense, give them an A+ right now because they have taken 2 drives, a combined 128 yards of offense to take a 16-0 lead. And set to kick it off is Jamal Johnson. This time he'll switch kick it over to the far side, and the Trojans have to hurry and cover it up at the 30, around the 33-yard line. We'll see where they mark it. And Parker's Chapel will go to work from there, 1st and 10.
The following is a
looking to throw. He's got pressure. Junction City bringing the heat on him, and he is going to lose about 5 yards. Actually, more than that, it looks like. Maybe, yeah, he's going to lose more than that. It's going to be about a 7, 8-yard loss, 8-yard loss back to the 26-yard line, and it will make it 2nd and 18 for the Trojans. The 12th meeting between these two. Junction City leads the series 11-0. It started in 2006. Trojans with twins to both sides. 2nd and 18. And now I believe we have a timeout call. We'll take it with them. We'll be back in 30 seconds on the DSE. Three minutes, 17 seconds left in the first quarter. In case you're just joining us, Junction City's first 2 drives, their offense generated a total of 128 yards. They started the first drive from the 37, second one from their 35. They lead it 16-0. Both drives ending with successful scores and 2-point conversions to boot. Parker's Chapel, their second possession, and they face a 2nd and 18 from their 26-yard line after losing 8 yards on first down. Trojans again, twin sets to the bottom. The pressure coming quickly from Junction City. They're trying to go to Clark, and it is incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 18. And the Dragons right now bringing the heat. Parker's Chapel having some trouble containing them. It's 3rd down for the Trojans. Again, they got 4 to the bottom. And now they put a man in motion, looking, fakes. It's going to be a keep by the quarterback. He will go over the 30 to the 31-yard line, a pickup of about 5. It is going to be 4th and 13. As the clock rolls down to the 3-minute mark. And that will bring up 4th down. Let's see what the Trojans are going to do. You would assume they would punt here. And they are going to line up in punt formation. Junction City drops back. They return man at about the 30. And the punt is definitely, Johnson is the return guy, but they're going to kick it away from him out of bounds at around the Dragon 40, 43-yard line, somewhere in there, and we'll see where they mark it. And Junction City will start with some good field position. They're going to put it down at the 41-yard line. So Dragons 59 yards away from the end zone. Their third possession of the half, or might as well say of the first quarter. And they'll start this one out with twins to the bottom. They got Smith and Allen. Split to the bottom in the backfield, it is Johnson and Williams. Norman in the slot. 1st and 10. The give to Williams. He's looking for some running room. Takes it outside, darts back in, lowers the shoulder, and goes to the 45. Pickup of about 4. And that will bring up 2nd and 6. Key and Smith will split to the bottom here on 2nd and 6. Johnson in the gun. Has Williams beside him. He'll fake to Williams. He'll keep it himself. Johnson is going to pick up the first down. Now he's got some running room and drives to the 40. Flags fly. As Johnson is slung down hard. And let's see what the official's going to call here. I don't know if he's going to say hit out of bounds or what. His helmet come off. Johnson but it came off out of bounds, so they may be able to stay in the game. Usually the helmet comes out, they have to miss a play. Coach is talking it over with the officials here. Smith wanting an explanation of what happened. The flag came out as Johnson was slung down. He was out of bounds. But I don't know if it may have been something that was. Now they're going to start marking it off against the Trojans. At first, it looked like he was lining up his mark off against Junction City, but it's going to be a 15-yard penalty. We'll wait for the call. Yeah, it wasn't a horse collar. And now they wind up the clock, say, let's go. 15-yard penalty takes it down to the 25-yard line of Parker's Chapel, 1st and 10. Johnson rolls out, looking, throws. He's got Hudson. Hudson's got it. And he is in for the touchdown. 120. Now flags fly back at the around the 30-yard line, but if it's toward the Parker's Chapel sideline against the Trojans, sideline warning. 1:29 remaining first quarter. It is now 22-0. Junction City, the Dragons going for 2. Ivory in the backfield with Johnson to give to Ivory. Lowers his shoulder, drives ahead, marches into the end zone. 3 for 3 on 2-point conversions tonight. Our score now, Junction City 24, Parker's Chapel nothing. You're watching Dragon football on the DSN. .129 remaining in the opening quarter. The Dragons have had 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns, and successful conversions following them. They lead at 24-0. And if you're Brad Smith, you got to go, okay, look, we needed a game where we can get things lined out, get things going, prove to ourselves what we're capable of doing. Right now he's getting it because his offense is close to 200 yards total so far, around 185, 190, I'd guess. The defense looking solid. There's still a couple things. As the Dragons are going to squib kick it, the Trojans are not sure if they meant to do that or not. The Trojans will recover it right near midfield, and that's where they'll go to work 1st and 10. Other than a couple of penalties, Junction City defensively looking good. Offense is looking solid, especially the running game. They got it going early, but the Dragons have hit through the air twice for touchdowns. So got to like what you're seeing so far. 1:29 remaining in the first quarter. The Trojans, their third possession of the night, they'll go work 1st and 10 with trips to the bottom, twins to the top. Got Clark in motion. They fake to him. Keeper by the quarterback. He's got some running room as he fooled everybody. Good little run. Over the 40 of Junction City down to around the 36. The Dragons were focused on Clark, as Smith said they would be. And a nice keeper by the Parkers Chapel quarterback takes it down to the 36-yard line. And it'll be a 1st and 10 for the Trojans. And following this play, we're going to jump to the USW scoreboard for another update. Trojans got 5 total split out wide, looking, throwing, trying to get to Clark. They go instead to number, let me see if I can get a number there. That is Gray with the reception, number 10, and he takes it inside the 25 of Junction City down to the 23. Another Trojan 1st down, and just like that, the Trojans on the move. Parkers Chapel basically been running an empty backfield. And again, they bring a man in motion. Now they swing it back to Clark. Clark looking, he's going to just throw it up. And it is all Ryan Allen going after it, could not quite get it. They had 2 receivers in the area, but the pass was not strong enough to get to him. Allen made a diving attempt to try to intercept it, but it falls to the turf harmlessly. Brings up a 2nd and 10. 45 seconds remaining first quarter. The Trojans trying to get something going here, and they got the ball from about midfield. They drove it down to the Dragon 23, and that's where they're at the moment. Man in motion again. Here's a keeper. He's got some runner in the play they ran earlier that was successful. And it goes inside the 10. Just whoever has the assignment of picking up the quarterback, not doing it. And 2 runs there on the quarterback keeper has netted the Trojans about 26 total yards. Has got them 2 first downs. And it now has them a 1st and goal at the 8-yard line of Junction City. We have the 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Again, an empty backfield for Parkers Chapel. They bring Clark in motion. They fake, keep. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Parkers Chapel. A good hard run puts the Trojans on the board, 24-6. 16 seconds left in the first quarter. And the Dragon defense, like this time, they kind of had their guard down, especially on the little play where Chapel will bring a man in motion like they're going to feed him the ball. The quarterback keeps it, goes off tackle. He had 2 runs there that netted him first downs both times. And then he kept it just straight up the middle. They'll go for 2. They'll throw to the end zone. It's knocked down. Wilson batting it away, and the score remains 24-6. 16 seconds left in the opening quarter. So the Trojans on their third possession march at 50 yards to score, and they get the goose egg off the board. So the Dragons sent out the return unit. And let's jump to the USW scoreboard. Still first quarter, Fordyce 7, Dardanelle 7. And we don't have anything on any of the others in the areas. We mentioned El Dorado homecoming. They got Marion. Smackover, not sure if they're at home or on the road, but they have Barton. And, of course, we have this game here between the Dragons and the Trojans, their 12th meeting. Parks Chapel set to kick it off. They're going to pooch it again. A little bit deeper this time. That's going to be Smith. He's going to return. He's got some return room, but flags flying, and that's probably going to come back. But a good return by Smith. He gets up near the 45. But as he made that cut and started upfield, the flag flew. And while we wait for the call here, let's go back to the USW scoreboard. Camden 20 to Queen 3. Holding against the Dragons, so that'll bring it back. Camden Fairview, since losing to El Rey at the start of this, I believe that was their first game of the season. Or maybe their second, not sure, but they have not lost since. In fact, they're only lost to El Rey in a game they could have easily won. Dragons have split receivers both sides of the field. And 1st and 10, here comes A.J. Ivory. And Ivory plows, now they're saying the ball come out. And I believe, let's see, waiting. Yes, a fumble. The receiver, the official on the bottom of the field here, signaling that it is Trojan football. So Ivory fumbles, sets up the Trojans at the 25, and just like that, Parkers Chapel with 2 seconds left in the first quarter, a chance to cut into the Dragon lead some more. Timeout, Parkers Chapel. We're going to take it with them. 30-second timeout. We'll be back here on the DSN. 2 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Parks Chapel calling the timeout. They're getting their offense set with a big opportunity here to cut into the Dragon lead. Junction City jumped out 24-0 lead. Parks Chapel scored on their last possession. They missed the 2-point conversion. That's cut it to 24-6. An A.J. Ivory fumble gives them the ball at the Dragon 25, and that's where they go to work. Empty backfield. They got 5 split out. A quick outlet pass, and the Dragons quickly on it. Wilson bringing down the Trojan receiver at about the 21, and that ends the first quarter. So 1 quarter in the book. Our score, Junction City 24, Parkers Chapel 6. We'll be back with the second quarter here on the Dragon Sports Network. Back at 60. We are set to begin the second quarter here at Paul H. Muse Field at David Carpenter Stadium. Parkers Chapel with a 2nd and 7 on the Dragon 22. They fake to hand off to Clark straight ahead as the Trojan quarterback, and he will pick up about 2 yards. Brings up 3rd, and let's call it 3. 3rd and 3. They're right inside. Well, I take that back. They are at the 18-yard line. Officially right inside the 20. They're down to the 18-yard line of Junction City. Just underway in the second quarter. Here's a quick pass to Clark. The Dragons quickly over there, but Clark makes a move. It looked like he was fixing to go down, but cuts back and gets to about the 15. Should have a Trojan first down. Let's go to the USW scoreboard, and what do we got? It was Desart 16, Carlisle zip. Darnell is up on Fordyce 10-7. That Carlisle Desart game is a 6AA conference showdown. Parkers Chapel straight ahead is the quarterback. He plows over the 10 to about the official says he's right near the 5-yard line. And the Trojans will go to work first and goal right outside the Dragon 5-yard line. And just like that, Parkers Chapel, who found themselves down by 24, with a chance to cut the Dragon lead in half here. And again, straight ahead. This time Junction City responds quickly, so it'll bring up second down. Trojans have been running an empty backfield, but bringing people in motion. Usually Clark, they've been moving him around, doing a good job of moving around, getting the ball different ways. And I believe if we got a flag, let's see, is it going to be on the Dragons? And I believe so. Not sure Junction City like they were going to come after them hard. Instead, give the Trojans a second and goal from the 3-yard line. 9:55 remaining second quarter. Trojans on the move again, straight ahead and in for the touchdown. And just like that, the Trojans have cut the Junction City lead in half. And you can't like what you're seeing on the Dragon defense. They started out good, but then the last possession Trojans had, that little quarterback keeper kept messing with them, get Trojans a couple of first downs, and then they scored off of it. But instead of cutting it to the outside, they went straight up the middle. This time, same thing again. And now Parks Chapel will go for 2. As I mentioned before, a nice night here in the border town. Nice little breeze. Homecoming 2021. I heard everybody talking about great crowd, great turnout today for the parade and all the other things going on. Trojans, here they go again, empty backfield. They keep it with the quarterback. They brought Clark in motion, but nothing happening. Dragons swarm them immediately, bring them down. So with 9:48 remaining, first half, the score, Junction City 24, Parkers Chapel 12. You're watching Dragon football on the DSN. Back in 30. $9:48 remaining in the first half. Junction City had jumped out to a 24-0 lead. Have seen the Trojans on the last 2 possessions cut it in half. And the Dragons will try to get something here on the return with Jamal Johnson. He'll take it up to about the 37-yard line, and that's where Junction City go to work first and 10. Got a couple scores here sent to me. Let me see if I can get to them here real quick as we go to USW scoreboard. Warren is up 7-zip, and Smackover and Barton. Barton leads it 8-2. Not sure what inning that's in, Denton. So from the 37 first and 10, say the 38-yard line first and 10, the Dragons will go to work. Here's a pass to Ryan Allen. He's got some blockers in front. Allen Takes off across the 40. They try to strip him, but he holds on to the ball and just keeps moving down to the 32-yard line. And Junction City, a 30-yard gain in business. From the Trojan 32. Darnell 17, Fordyce 7. And as I mentioned a while ago, Smackover trailing Barton 8-2. And as we get them, we'll pass them along to you. Junction City, they got Ivory in the backfield. They'll feed Ivory here on 1st and 10. And a good tackle. At the 30-yard line, Ivory will pick up 2, 2nd and 8. So the Dragons will go to work on 2nd and 2 with Ryan Allen. He's checked in, Smith in. They got Ivory. And let's see what they got in plan. Need to get a score here. 8:35 remaining, second quarter, before they can get going. Let's see what we got here. I do not see now I see it on the bottom part of the field. And I believe they're going to get the Trojans for encroachment. So that's a 5-yard penalty. And now Junction City, instead of a 2nd and 8, face a 2nd and 3. Johnson, quick pass to Smith. Smith with a little running room goes over the 20 to the 18-yard line. And that should be enough, and it is enough for a Dragon first down. So once again, the Dragons will move the chains, and they're in the purple zone. And like I said a while ago, definitely need a score here. Homecoming 2021, good crowd here tonight. Great crowd today for all the festivities. And get a chance here, I'll tell you about the great food that was being served throughout Junction City today. And we got a flag. I'm not sure. Johnson was talking, had moved up and was talking to his lineman. And they're going to, I'm assuming they're flagging him for a false start. He stepped up like he was changing the play, and he gets flagged. So it goes back 5 yards. It'll be 1st and 15. Junction City had the ball at the Trojan 23-yard line. 8:18 remaining in the first half. Dragons lead at 24-12. Ivory in the backfield with Johnson. The give is to Ivory. Ivory cuts it to the outside, goes over the 20 to about the 15-yard line. That'll be a gain of 8. He gets back the penalty yards, plus picks up an additional 2 or 3 more. They're going to say now that he stepped out at the 17-yard line. Dragons send Twins to the bottom. Johnson, he'll keep it this time. Johnson with some running room. Johnson, a shoestring tackle keeps him from possibly going into the end zone. But he should. Let's see where they mark it. I thought he had the first down. May not. He don't. It's going to be a yard short. Well, actually, about a half yard short. 3rd down. Ball sits on the 8-yard line. Johnson will keep it again. Running room and more. He breaks off a tackle, goes into the end zone. Touchdown Dragons. And Junction City goes up 30-12. Another 60-plus yard drive. This one's about 63 yards. And Junction City going for 2. Johnson's got Smith's got it. It's good. Smith with a little route and the end zone, cuts to the corner, pulls it in. With 7:33 remaining in the first half, your new score is Junction City 32, Parker's Chapel 12. We'll be back in 30 seconds on the DSN. .733 remaining in the first half. Junction City responds after 2 Trojan scores with a 63-yard drive to lead it 32-12. And set to kick it off, Jamal Johnson tees it up. And Johnson squishes it high. And the ball is fumbled but then recovered at the 40, I believe it's going to be about the 43-yard line of Parks Chapel. So great field position for the Trojans. They go to work 1st and 10. Their last 2 drives have resulted in touchdowns. They failed to convert on the conversion attempts. Junction City, first 3 possessions they had tonight scored, and they just scored a little while ago. And they are up, as I said a while ago, 32-12. So let's see what the Trojans do 1st and 10 from their 43-yard line. Empty backfield. They bring Clark in motion. They'll feed it to Clark. He's trying to get outside. The Dragons trying to contain him. Clark does get outside, turns the corner near a first down.
Gives it outside to number 7, Lance Clark.
In fact, let's see. He is about a yard short of the first down. So 2nd and 1. Got a man to the bottom. They got twins to the top. Actually, they got 4 to the top. Empty backfield again for the Trojans. They bring Clark back in motion, and they're going to do the quarterback keeper. The Dragons this time are ready. And the Trojan quarterback, Wilford, is going to be brought down at the line of scrimmage. So it is 3rd and 1. And Junction City that time ready for that quarterback keeper. Trojans continue to run an empty backfield. They bring Clark in motion a lot. It's like they're trying to find different ways to get him the ball. And when he's your main guy and got the talent he's got, you can understand why. 3rd and 1. Again, quarterback keeper, this time first down for the Trojans and some more as Wilford plunges to the 43-yard line. And the Trojans will move the chains. Ball is spotted. The clock starts rolling. 6 minutes remaining, 2nd quarter. Timeout called. It is by the Dragons. We're going to take it with them. 30-second timeout. We'll be back here on the DSN. .5:59 remaining in the first half. Junction City up by 20, 32-12, but the Trojans once again on the move. They have a 1st and 10 from the Dragon 43-yard line. And once again, Wilford operating with an empty backfield. And again, they bring Clark in motion. Low snap. And before everything can get developed, I see a flag on the far side of the field. And the offense will be charged a false start, and that'll back them up 5. And put them down now at the 48-yard line. So 5-yard penalty on the Trojans. And it'll be 1st and 15. Wilford back, pressure coming, throws. It's going to be almost intercepted. Clark was the intended receiver. Ryan Allen in the vicinity again. Brings up 2nd and 15. Junction City bringing the pressure from the corners that time. Or from the ends, I should say. Excuse me, from the ends. And Wilford didn't have a lot of time to do anything other than flinging as fast as he could. And now Clark breaks loose, and he is in the end zone. Touchdown, Parkus Chapel. Just like that, the Trojans strike and score. It is now 32-18. And you see the speed of Lancer Clark. Trojans will go for 2, 5:43 remaining, second quarter. They're going to do the quarterback sneak straight ahead, and into the end zone goes Wilford. 5:38 remaining in the first half. Our new score, Junction City 32, Parkus Chapel 20. We'll be back here on the Dragon Sports Network. Trojans strike from about 45 yards out. Lancer Clark taking it in. Our new score 32-20. Dragons leading the Trojans, but Parkus Chapel battling back. 5:38 remaining in the first half. Trojans set to kicking off, and they will knock it down to about the 30, and that's where Johnson fields it. Johnson on the go, breaks some tackles, trying to get to the outside. He's at the 40, the 35, the 30, the 25, down inside the 25 to about the 20. We'll see where they mark it. A great return. Jamal Johnson fields it on the run, broke it to the outside, and gave the Dragons some excellent field position to work with. We'll see where they're going to put it down at. They're marking it at the 21 of Parkus Chapel. So Jamal Johnson with a 49-yard kickoff return. And just like that, the Dragons with an opportunity to strike right back. In the backfield with Johnson is Williams. Smith and Allen split out. The give to Williams. Williams 20. Williams 15, 10, 5. Williams slung inside the 5 to about the... It's a first down definitely for the Dragons. I believe they're going to put it on the 2-yard line. 19-yard run by Williams. Dragons first and goal. Williams in the backfield with Johnson. They'll feed Williams again. He's in for the touchdown. Junction City, 2 plays, 21 yards. Williams finishes it off on both plays as he picks up his 21. And just like that, the Dragons answer and now lead at 38-20. And of course, they will go 4-2. Williams in the backfield with Johnson. Allen split one side, Smith the other. They'll feed Williams. He is hit. He drives. I don't know that last effort. Yeah, it did. It got him in. The last effort pushes them through. So the Dragons now, with 4:56 remaining in the first half, lead it 40-20. And I tell you what, folks, the offenses have taken over here. Along, I should say, with some special team effort by the Dragons. Set them up with a great position to go to work for them on this last drive. The Trojan 21, they do it in 2 plays to score. Warren now leading DeWitt 21-7. Want to thank Miss Arlette Allen for keeping us posted. They've been in a rain delay, but they're back playing. And Rising and McGee, Denton says, is also delayed. Mr. Monty Pumphrey shooting us some information on Smagover and Barton, and that is still Barton up 8-2 over the Buckaroos. Here, Junction City leads it 40-20, back and forth. Johnson tees it up, kicks it. They're going to sling this one a little bit deeper. The ball is fumbled and inside the 20, and they're going to say that's where it'll be downed. They're going to put it on the Trojan 19-yard line. Dragons kick this one deep. And back to the USW scoreboard. Mount Ida over Poland, 14-0, and that is a halftime score. All these games should be, folks, conference games. So as we're here in mid-October. These are the games you start. Who's going to take control of what conference? You know, you got the 7 West, the 6, the 8, all those conferences. Gurdon over Magnet Cove, 7-0. Wilford on first down throws. It's caught. Nice catch at the 25-yard line. It'll be a pickup. That is Gray with the reception, 6-yard gain. So 2nd and 4. McCory taking control in the 6. They lead Cross County 36-0. Excuse me, 36-7. And a ball fumbled here. Let's see who's got it. Junction City has it. It was a bad exchange. They had a man in motion. The ball hits the ground, and the Dragons are on it. Big opportunity here to extend that lead. They're going to start in the purple zone on the Parkers Chapel 18-yard line. We got another score from the West, 7 West, Foreman over Murfreesboro, 7-0. And 1st and 10, Ivory in the game. Ivory busts through the middle, goes over the 15 down to the 10. Reverse those numbers on Murfreesboro and Foreman as Murfreesboro over Foreman 7-0. That is in the first quarter. And officials stopped the game temporarily. We had a Trojan now, but he is up and moving. A little banged up, but he is okay. And they'll start the clock back up, which shows 3:56 remaining in the first half. Dragons lead at 40-20, looking to add more with a 2nd and 2 at the Trojan 11-yard line. And this is Johnson powering through, and he's in. Touchdown Junction City with 3:44 remaining in the first half. It is now 46-20 Dragons. And as their custom, they go for 2. They split Key to, I believe that is, yes, Key to the bottom, Smith to the top. They're going to throw to Key, low throw, and the first unsuccessful 2-point conversion of the night for the Dragons. So we'll step away for 30 seconds here on the Dragons Sports Network. If you were in the mood to see points scored, Paul H. Muse Field at David Carpenter Stadium is the place you need to be tonight, folks. We got 3 minutes and a second left in the first half. Our score is Junction City 46, Parkers Chapel 28. And it started out 24-0 Dragons, and after that, Parkers Chapel got the offense going. Junction City has managed to keep theirs going, and the Trojans are going to onside kick it. The ball is loose. Parkers Chapel's got it. And the onside kick did not run any time off the clock. Imagine that. So it's still 3:01 remaining in the first half. And the Trojans at the 41-yard line of Junction City with a chance to cut into the Dragon lead. And now they're going to change. Trojans tried to catch the Dragons, make them jump. Now they switch the play. They bring Clark in motion. They fake it to him, throw it incomplete. They use Clark as a decoy then. And that'll bring up 2nd and 10. Darnell continues to lead Fordyce. That was 24-14, you said, Denton? And that is at halftime as we look at the USW scoreboard, trying to keep a close eye on a lot of these games, especially with it conference play, start getting an idea how these brackets are going to shape up. That time of the year, got to love it. 2nd down. Trojans again go to the air. His pass is complete. It'll be a pickup of about 4. Norman on the tackle there, and it'll bring up 3rd and 3rd and 6. Clock ticks down to the 2.5-minute mark of the first half. The Trojans trying to cut into the Dragon lead before half. You Junction City, you want to stop here because Parkers Chapel gets the ball to start the second half. They're going to do the quarterback keeper. It may pick up a yard. It brings up 4th down. And the Trojans will definitely go for it. Scoreboard shows it to be 4th and 6. That's what we're going to go with. Ball on the 36-yard line. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. And no doubt Parkers Chapel will go for it. The Trojans trying to score here, and they get the ball to start the second half. So they got a big opportunity here. Your Junction City defense, this is where you need to bow up and shut them down. And I think Parkers Chapel let the clock run down as much as they could, then they call a timeout. We're going to take it with them. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on the DSN. .138 remaining in the first half. Junction City 46, Parkers Chapel 28. A 4th and 6 for the Trojans from the Dragon 36-yard line. So I mentioned before, they get the ball to start the second half, so they would love to score here and get that ball second half and drive again and get right back into the middle of this thing. Empty backfield for Parkers Chapel, 4th down. Full set at the top. They got one in motion there, Clark. He comes down toward the bottom. And they're looking for Clark here. Throw incomplete. And the Dragons will take over on down. With 1:35 remaining, they have 2 timeouts left. Parkers Chapel has used all of their allotment. So the Dragons with 1:35 left, 2 timeouts, chance to put some more points on the board. Let's jump back to the USW scoreboard. First half score from Memorial Stadium, El Dorado 14, Marion nothing. Here it is 46-28, and the Dragons, 1st and 10 from their own 36-yard line, would love to add more to it. They got single receiver split to the top and the bottom. That's Smith at the top, Allen at the bottom. This is Williams coming out of the backfield. He'll go over the 36 to about the 39, so it'll be 2nd and 7. And let's see how the Dragons handle this here. They got time. They got timeouts. You think they're going to try to take full advantage of this? They faked Williams. Johnson rolls out, looking, throws. He's got Christopher Norman. Norman breaks a tackle. Norman, great run over midfield to the 49-yard line. And a first down, which would stop the clock, but he also got out of bounds, which definitely stops the clock and gives the Dragons time to kind of adjust and get ready. They're now on the Parkers Chapel side of the field, the 49-yard line. That was a pickup of 12 on that pass. Johnson throws. This is Key. Key tried to run before he had it. So 2nd and 10, 59 seconds left. Still got plenty of time. And remember, folks, they got 2 timeouts to work with, so you got the whole field to work. You can take something down the middle. Of course, first down, stop the clock. The Dragons hadn't tried anything deep. Trojans got everybody up, even the safeties up. Smith with the reception, breaks a tackle, first down, 35, Smith 30 to about the 29 is where, yes, about the 29, we'll call it the 30-yard line, but it's another Dragon first down, a pickup of 19, and Smith has done a great job. Even in the loss to Fordyce, he had like 4 receptions. And here comes Williams out of the backfield. Williams at the 20. Williams 15. Williams down to the 10. Now you can, of course, the clock stops for the first down, but if you want to stop, let's see what the Dragons trying to do. Like I said, still got 2 timeouts, still got plenty of time, but they're not going to use a timeout here. They're going to keep moving. And they're going to work the clock a little bit as they hand it to Ivory. Ivory at the 10. Ivory at the 5, 4, 3. Touchdown! A.J. Ivory takes it in from 10. And faster you can say Holy Moses. There's 30 seconds left in the first half, and Junction City now leads it 52-28. Catch my breath here, folks. Goodness. Here's the 2-point attempt. Ivory bulldozer fights, and it's going to pin. He got right up near it, and they're going to say, no, he did not bust through. 2-point conversion is no good, but with 30 seconds left in the first half, our new score is Junction City 52, Parkers Chapel 28. And we're going to keep it right here. And you have to wonder, these offenses, they should have let us know to bring some popcorn because they have both put on a show. The Dragons offense been rolling really good. Parkers Chapel, it took them a little bit, but they got going. Clark, number 7, has shown that he is as advertised. 2 touchdowns, and he had a great over-the-shoulder catch on one of them. He is one of the return men. He's standing on the Trojan 20. As Jamal Johnson gets ready to tee it up. And the Dragons, they need another man on the kickoff unit that got him in there. Here goes Johnson. He puts his foot into it, pooches it high, is singled for a fair catch at around the 26-yard line. So Parkers Chapel with 30 seconds. They have no timeouts. Let's see what the Trojans try to do here. They get the ball to start the second half, so they may elect to, hey, we're going to go in the locker room, think some things over, come back and let it go. Or they may decide to try to see what they can do. And they definitely got the weapon in Clark to do it. From their own 26. they'll go to work. Next week, we're in Calhoun County. After that, we come back to the Muse. You ready for this, folks? To close out the regular season. Holy Moses, it has flown by. Snap is on the ground. Wilford has to pick it up and run, but he will get, let's see, back to the line of scrimmage, I think. I'm not sure. Like he was going to lose some yards. They're going to say, no, he did lose about a yard. The clock continues to run, and the Trojans may elect to just go into the locker room and prepare for the second half, and that's what they're going to do. 2 seconds left, one. It is halftime here at the Muse. Our score, Junction City 52, Parkers Chapel 28. We'll be back with the halftime festivities here on the DSN. Back in 30 seconds. We are back, and halftime is set to begin. Director of the sound of the Border Town, Mr. Alan Simmons, and his musicians about to take the field here to give you some halftime entertainment. That's why we took a 30-second. I think I caught Denton off guard. He's like, and Mr. Simmons had them definitely ready. So we're fixing to enjoy the Junction City Dragon Marching Band. We are about, let's see, here they go. All right. Sound of the Border Town, Junction City Dragon Marching Band about to take the field to perform here at Homecoming 2021. And we're going to turn it over to them right now to enjoy, and then we'll be back with Mr. Sean Enos and his Arkansas report. Right now, the Junction City Dragon Marching Band.
These girls will present their routine while the band plays one of their favorites, Shout It Out, to be followed by an older number which would be familiar to some of our alumni present tonight. It is called The Horse. The band will close out the halftime show with the Junction City fight song. Now, on with the show.
The Junction City Dragon Marching Band, and an outstanding job performing there. Really enjoyed listening to the horse. Takes you back a little bit. Joining me here now at halftime, we've been starting to see if we could get him come up here. He's been an old former Dragon quarterback. He could give us some insight on what's going on. And Joe Lowe, I think you said it best. You know, we got ready to watch this game, and next thing you know, we felt like we was in the Big 12 conference.
Yes, sir.
Back and forth they went. Start with the Dragon defense. Talk about what you're seeing out of them so far.
You know, at first it's pretty easy to see what the Dragons are lining up in. It looks like they're starting off in a base cover 4. But as soon as this guy comes in motion, it's hard to see what the D-line is doing up front. There seems to be just a little bit of confusion up front. But as far as base defense, it looks like they've got the pass defended well at times, but at other times it just seems like it's busted wide open.
And you talked about the upfront adjustments. Coach Smith had talked about, we're having some problems with assignments, and that's the area he's talking about. And you talk to the other coach, and they say, yeah, we got to get a little bit sharper on that. Well, defense, despite that problem, they still can enjoy a 24-point lead because of this Dragon offense, and talk about them.
Man, the Dragon offense looks absolutely electric tonight, man. To see that A.J. Ivory is just absolutely trucking defenders left and right. Jordavion Williams is a freaking lightning bolt coming around the edge, and it's just amazing to see how fast he is. And Jay Johnson is throwing the ball incredibly well. I think he's about 5 of 6 tonight. Is that the stat?
I believe there's only been one that I recall, one incomplete. There might be 2, but I think it's just 1. Some of the guys catching that, one of them is Jacob Smith. Talk about him for a little bit.
Man, Jacob Smith seems to have glue on his hands this season. Every pass that comes his way, it seems like it just sticks there. And, man, I've talked about this kid for years. Ever since he was just a young pup in 7th grade football, I coached him in 7th grade football, and I said, Jacob Smith has some of the best hands I've seen. So, I think he's become a pivotal part of this Dragon offense as far as their passing game. So it's good to see him getting out there, getting yards on kick returns and catches and everything. He's been a real asset this season.
All right, real quick, give me one thing you want to see out of the Dragon defense in this second half.
Man, like to see a little bit more aggressiveness in the secondary because it seems like they're letting that number 7, which he can actually fly, that number 7 for Parker's Chapel.
Clark,
yep. Just see them get a little bit more aggressive on him, get a little bit tighter coverage on him because once the ball gets in his hands, he's going. And I would like to see them adjust a little bit better on the defensive line because that quarterback, Wilford, I believe that's his name.
Yep.
You know, he's finding a good chunks of yards up the middle. Just be a little stronger up front, push those guys back.
Offense, I know we bragged on the offense. Is there anything you kind of like, hey, the offense looks great, but I would like to see this?
You know, I really haven't seen that much that the offense has done wrong tonight. I mean, when you put up 52 points and a half,
yes,
you got to be doing a whole lot right. We got a false start call on some misjudgment on the offensive line with a wrong alignment. But besides that, I don't really see anything that this Dragon offense has done too terribly wrong tonight.
Well, I tell you what, when you talk about the offense and say, hey, they're looking great in defense, hey, if you work on this, we're all right. You know you're doing something right. It is halftime, 52-28, our score, Junction City in the lead. And Joe Lowe, we look forward to seeing you next week with us, and enjoy having you come up here at halftime and help us out. Joe Lowe, he comes up, gives us some pointers, things to look for and stuff like that. When we come back in 60 seconds, Mr. Sean Enos is going to tell us what's been going on around the state with his Arkansas football report. All right. We got about 3.5 minutes left here in the first half on the halftime clock. Right now, Sean Enos and the Arkansas Football Report, sponsored by Terminix.
Welcome back to Week 7 of the Arkansas High School Football Report, where we try to put some spotlight on AA and AAA football in Arkansas. Let's jump right in and take a look at how our six-pack of teams fared last week in AA football. In the game of the week, it definitely did not turn out well at all for the Junction City Dragons as they got blown out by the Fordyce Redbugs on the road 42-6. Fordyce is making their bid to be the top team in the state with that victory last week. Bigelow, they almost hung 50 on Mountainburg in a 49-22 rout. Desark shut out Hazen 36-0. Clarendon beat England 52-12. And in a non-conference contest, McCrory lit up Carlisle 40-14. So that gives us the following matchups for this week. McCrory will host Cross County. McCrory's a big favorite there. Bigelow travels to JC Westside, should be a favorite there. Desark travels to Carlisle. Desark should be favored. Clarendon hosts Hazen. Clarendon should be favored. Fordyce, fresh off the big victory against Junction City, they're going to play up to 4A. Folks, Fordyce has been playing up a lot this year. They're going up to 4A and traveling to Dardanelle. Junction City will host Parker's Chapel and for homecoming. And I'm going to add some bonus coverage this week. Welcome to the discussion, Gurdon Go Devils. The 6-1 Go Devils, they're going to host Magnet Cove. That's a pretty big game in their part of the state, and that'll be happening this week. Go Devils putting that 6-1 record on the line. Now, let's flip over to AAA football. Let's look at how our teams looked last week. Remember, we follow 3 teams from the beginning of the season all the way to the end. Boonville, they won big. The Bearcats came to Central Arkansas and they beat Mayflower 49-14. If I'm not mistaken, that was a battle of 2 teams that wear purple. Prescott won a shootout over Center Point. Kind of figured that would be a good game, and the Curly Wolves came out on top 50-41. Our third AAA team, McGee, the Owls defeated Camden Harmony Grove 36-12. Just one football fan's opinion, but I thought from day one these are the top 3 teams in AAA. So far, so good. So that leads us to this week's 3A matchups here for our 3 teams that we're tracking all season. McGee will host Rising. That ought to be a great matchup. Boonville will host Baptist Prep. Boonville should be heavy favorites. And finally, the Prescott Curly Wolves. They will be big favorites traveling to Genoa Central after the Curly Wolves scored 50 points last week. So that's going to do it for this week. Happy homecoming, Junction City fans, everybody. And now back to Wayne, Jacob, and Denton, the Dragon Sports Network, the best in the business by far. We'll talk next week.
And thank you, Mr. Sean Enos. Arkansas Football Report, brought to you by Terminix. I want to thank Joe Lowe for coming up and talking with us. And, of course, you saw the Junction City Band and a great little job by the sound of the border town. And real quick, let's go to the USW scoreboard. El Dorado now leads Marion 21-0. And they are in the second half. In fact, they're in the third quarter. Smackover trails Barton 8-2. Camden Fairview rolling over DeQueen 48-3. And I'm pretty sure Warren, let's check in with them real quick. It's also their homecoming, by the way. It's still first half. They're leading DeWitt 35-7. Here it is 52-28. Junction City in command. They put 3 more minutes back up on the scoreboard, let both teams come on out and warm up, get ready for the second half. McGee, go back to the scoreboard. McGee 22-6 over Rising. That is also a conference game, and I believe that is a 6-3A conference game. Gurdon winning over Magnet Cove 7-0. Quitman rolling 35-0. And looking here, team that a lot of people have been talking about in Double-A, kind of the dark horse. Bigelow, they're rolling 51-6. Who are they beating, Denton? They're on defeating, will defeat Johnson County West Side. You know, a lot of people have Bigelow ranked number 1. For my money, until somebody stops them, you got to stay with the boys in Dallas County, and that's Fordyce Redbugs. Now, here's one interesting out of the 6. Hayes and Clarendon tied at 14. And Murfreesboro leading Foreman. It was 7-zip, now it's 7-6. And Desark taking care of Carlisle. They're in command there. So Desark, McCory, Clarendon, teams we've talked about, you've heard us mention, they're going to be ones to deal with. Bigelow, I'm not knocking them or nothing, but it's kind of like Poland last year. Let's see what happens when you get into conference play. And speaking of Poland, they trail Mount Ida 14-0. So, you know, it's no knock on Bigelow, but let's see what happens when you get into the playoffs. You run into the teams that are going to be tough to deal with usually when it's playoff time. Right now, the teams, Parkers Chapel coming on feel like they're ready to get the second half started. Junction City still stretching a little bit, getting ready. It is still the first half in Warren, and it's their homecoming, as I mentioned, and they're in command now 42-7. See, okay, the officials, the Parks Chapel coach was talking to some of the officials. They're ready. I think they're ready to get started. And they have their kick return unit on the field. And I want to mention, we talked about homecoming and the food and all that. Terrell and Angela McGraw did their barbecue today uptown. And, folks, I'm here to tell you it was delicious. Denton can even attest to that. We brought him a plate. I want to thank them for coming up and providing that for homecoming, an option there. And they had some more folks barbecuing. It was a great day in Junction City. Like I said, a lot of good food being cooked. And a lot of good food was eaten. Well, right now we are ready for some second half football set to go. And the Dragons are kicking off. Clark's going to field it at the 20. Comes back up the middle, tries to cut to the outside. The Dragons will wrap him up, but he will get to about the 30, let's see, a little over the 30, around the 32-yard line. That's where Parks Chapel will go to work, 1st and 10. Wilford, the quarterback, checking in. The Trojans, as they did in the first half, will run an empty backfield and usually put someone in motion. That's someone usually Clark. 2 touchdown receptions the first half. First down, they'll go straight up the middle. You heard Joe Lowe talk about they had success running a quarterback keeper. They also ran that quarterback, I kind of call it draw. They would fake a handoff and then take it to the outside. And that's what helped set up one of their touchdown drives. 2 real good runs by Wolford. Be 2nd and 7. 34-yard line, the Trojans just started the second half. They trail at 52-28, Junction City. Offense very explosive first half, hoping to do the same. You should see a pass go incomplete and flags fly in the Trojan backfield. And that might be, not sure if they're going to call, yep, on the Dragons, hitting quarterback, necessary roughness, or personal foul. And that is going to be, should be a 15-yarder. It is. And it sets the ball up near midfield. So Parkus Chapel, one thing you didn't want to do with Junction City is help them out in it, and they do. The Trojans near midfield. Initial possession of the second half. They give to Clark. Clark wrapped up. He'll get about a yard, maybe 2, no more. It'll be second down. And we have a player down. And we will step away for 60 seconds. We'll be back here on the Dragon Sports Network. Ten minutes, 5 seconds remain in the third quarter. Junction City 52, Parks Chapel 28. That is Lancer Clark going off the field. He injured on that last play, but he's going out under his own power. Looks like he hopefully be okay. He's limping, but moving, and that's the main thing. They're going to take him sideline, take a look at him. Parks Chapel has a 2nd and 10. From actually 2nd and 9 from midfield. And we are set to go. Trojans have 5 split out. Trips to the top, Twins to the bottom. The ball fumbled by the quarterback will be recovered by the man in motion. And it's going to be spotted back. Yep, 3rd and 15 from midfield. Ball bobbled by the quarterback and just happened to be the Trojan man in motion to save the day. Was number 10. 3rd and 15. They'll throw bubble screen, trying to get something going. It's not going to work. The receiver's driven out of bounds. It'll be a pickup of maybe 2 or 3 yards. It's 4th down. Christopher Norman on the tackle. And it'll be 4th down and 11. They're going to say that 3 yards pickup was picked up on that last play. So 4th down. Trojans will appear to be punting. Let's see what they decide to do. They are going to punt it away. And they kick it away from the return man, which was Jamal Johnson, who was set up at about the 15. The ball rolls down. Trojans down it at the 22-yard line. So Junction City stops the Trojans on their initial possession of the second half, and the Dragons will go to work with a 24-point lead.
And the Dragons will start their drive around the 22-yard line.
Junction City will start with A.J. Ivory in the backfield. Of course, Johnson at quarterback. They got Smith and Allen split out on both sides. They give to Ivory. Ivory goes over the 25 to about the 28. It's a pickup of about 5 or 6. It'll be 2nd down. Clock runs. 7:35 to go, 3rd quarter. Junction City trying to pick up their first conference win of the year. Ivory with the call again. Ivory busts over the 35. He'll go to about the 38, and that'll be a Junction City 1st down.
That'll be a Junction City Dragons 1st down.
And the Dragons appear to be on the move again. And we have another Parker's Chapel player down. And we will step away for 30 seconds while they check on him, and we'll be back. They got a player down, and they're going to bring out the little ambulance and check on them. And while they do, we are going to step back away for 60 seconds, folks, while they attend to the Parker's Chapel player, and we will be back. We are back. They are attending to a Parkers Chapel player on the field, and we're just going to leave it kind of like it is, folks, while they attend to them. They had the little mobile ambulance out and everything, and we're going to see if we can get you some scores while we're waiting. We did know Warren going toward the halftime. They were under 3 minutes remaining, lead at 42-7. Here our score is 52-28, 7:15 remaining in the third quarter. Junction City will have the ball with a first down following a run by Ivory at their 38-yard line. El Dorado up 21-zip on Marion, and I believe none of the scores have changed. Murfreesboro leading Foreman 7-6. And McGee has, that is a new update. McGee has moved up 28-6 on Rising. I believe the last we heard on Hazen and Desark, it was 14-14. Is that correct then? I believe that was it. And they have moved into the third quarter. So that's a big battle in the sixth. Of course, right now, Fordyce leads the is actually tied with Parkers Chapel for the 8AA lead. Junction City in command here at the moment. That could end up with the Dragons tied with the Trojans, and that would be a tie for second place. That leaves, of course, Bearden, Hampton, and they'll be battling. Right now, the officials are talking. They're talking with Junction City coaches, and I was watching them to come to the sideline. They're resetting the clock. I'm not sure why or what was going on. I think what they're doing, they're putting a little bit of time back on there because the clock kept running for a little bit after the injury. And that's what's going on now. Okay. They're still attending to the Parkers Chapel player. We're going to step away for another 60 seconds, folks, and we'll be back. We got 7:31 remaining in the third quarter. And they are still attending to the Parkers Chapel player. They got him on the stretcher and fixing to lift up. And we hope that everything is okay. They got them on now and everything. We did not get a number. We did not know the young man. We weren't going to give a name out or nothing. I'm pretty sure his parents are here, the gentleman on the field and everything with him. I'm assuming his kinfolk. We hope that everything is okay. He went down pretty hard. we wish the best for him. And you hate seeing that, folks. I saw when he went down. I saw him when he did, and he went down hard. And I'm not going to speculate other than that. We got 7:31 remaining. The wind blowing pretty rough up here tonight. We've had some issues with it, moving stuff around. We apologize for that. You have to deal with the elements and move on. Clock starts up. Junction City goes to work 1st and 10. Ivory busts through. Ivory at midfield. Ivory 45-40. Ivory at the 30. Ivory at the 20. Still going 15 to about the 10 to the 5. And let's see where they're going to mark. If he did. No, I thought they're going to bring him back up a little bit, said he went out, but I didn't think he was that close to the out-of-bounds line, and he wasn't. It is going to be about a 52-yard run, and the ball is going to set inside the 10, 1st and goal for Junction City. Great run by A.J. Ivory. Johnson. Fakes, keeps. Johnson's got some running room. 5, Johnson at the goal line, and touchdown Junction City. So the Dragons strike quickly. And we'll now go for 2. Our new score, 58-28. 2-point attempt by Junction City. Johnson throws, I believe Ryan Allen has it. He does. Great catch by Ryan Allen. 2-point conversion is good. So with 5:52 left in the 3rd quarter, Junction City 60, Parkers Chapel 28. And we're going to keep it right here as this wind has really picked up. It started picking up right before half and then died just for a second and started back, and it hasn't let up. You can definitely tell a cold front is on its way. And like I said, we were battling some issues up here. We had put up our canopy to try to, just in case the rain hung around a little bit. And then the winds, we had laid it over on the side. Wind started moving it around, so we were chasing it, battling it. But I will take wind and cool like this over hot anytime. Dragons getting set to kick it off. Next week, like I said, Hampton will be in Calhoun County, and we'll close out with Bearden. Hampton and Bearden going at it. Coach Carpenter sent me a score here, 43-0 Bulldogs. As you see, the Trojans return it from the 25. They get up to the about the 37-yard line. And that's where they go to work, 1st and 10. And now I didn't hear a whistle or see a flag or nothing. But they're pulling, they're going to say, apparently they're going to say he's single for a fair catch, and they're going to put it down at the 27-yard line. And now the officials are going to call a timeout. Now they're signaling, nope, Parkers Chapel timeout. So Parkers Chapel taking a timeout. We're going to take it with them. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on the Dragon Sports Network. .348 remaining 3rd quarter. And now it's a windy night here in the border town. We're still in the timeout or coming out of it. Junction City in command, 60-28. Parks Chapel go to work from their own 27-yard line, 1st and 10. Trojans kind of changing things up. Now they will run with a back in the backfield with the quarterback, Wilford. Go to the air. They throw incomplete. Intended receiver number 8. Key on the defense there, on the coverage. And that'll bring up 2nd down. This is the 2nd week of conference play in the 8AA. And after tonight, Fordyce in 1st place. Junction City will be in 2nd. And here's a give up the middle. Good run. Taking some Dragons with them. Good hard run. And that'll give the Trojans a 1st down at the 40. Dragons win out, they will finish 2nd place, which I believe will put them in the lower bracket, and they will definitely face some salty competition down there. But first things first, got to take care of business, like I said, and win out. And they're off to a good start doing that. 2:20 remaining 3rd quarter. Junction City 60, Parks Chapel 28. Here's a pass that's complete up to the 45, and that's good for 5 yards. Trojans waiting for the play to be signaled in. And we are set. They got twins to the bottom. And it'll be a quarterback keeper that'll get about a yard, and that'll be it. Be 3rd down. Let's call it about 4. 1:15 remaining 3rd quarter. Trojans in no hurry now. They kind of like just going to try to, I guess, hold the score down, not let the Dragons get any more. They're taking their time. Here's a give. And it's going to be a good run, and it'll be another Trojan 1st down as they get past midfield down to the Junction City 47-yard line. We are under 45 seconds here in the 3rd quarter. I want to take this opportunity to thank every advertiser we got on the DSN. Thank you for their support. And we thank y'all for tuning in with us. We apologize for any difficulties or whatever that we had to deal with. As you noticed, last couple of weeks we've been battling YouTube issues, and we're trying to find out what's going on there, and it is no easy task. As we're down to probably the last play here of the 3rd quarter. Back here's a pass. It's going to be caught, but the receiver had a knee down, and it'll actually be a loss of yards unless they're saying I guess they're going to say he trapped the ball, so it's incomplete. But that ends the 3rd quarter. 3 in the books here at the Muse. Our score, Junction City 60, Parks Chapel 28. We'll be back in 60 seconds on the DSN. We are ready to start the fourth quarter on what has turned into a wind-filled night here at the Muse. Parkers Chapel with the ball. They have a 2nd and 10 at the Dragon 46. And here's the give in Junction City. Defensive line, linebackers there immediately. It will be no gain, possibly a couple of yards lost. And they're going to say, no, he did fight back to the line of scrimmage, so it's 3rd and 10. Dragons looking to move to 3 and 4. They will be 1 and 1 in conference play. Parkers Chapel will drop to 1 and 4, 1 and 1 in conference play. Of course, with this win over the Trojans, Dragons on any tiebreaker that may come up between them and Parkers Chapel. 3rd down, the pass is incomplete. Parkers Chapel quarterback was under pressure immediately, and it brings up 4th down. And I believe it appears Parkers Chapel is going to punt. Bearden struggling with numbers this year. In 5th place, and I'm not sure what Hampton. I don't think Hampton has opened. Well, they opened conference play. If they did, they opened with Bearden tonight. They would actually be in a tie with Fordyce, but I don't think they played a conference game last week. So that would, I said earlier, Fordyce being first by themselves, they wouldn't if if Hampton did not play last week. The ball is down at about the 14-yard line of Junction City. That's where the Dragons will go to work with 8:10 remaining in the game. Dragons will move to 12-0 in the all-time series between Parkers Chapel, which started in 2006, first year they both played each other. And I believe starting in 2009 or 10, cannot remember sure what year, Parkers Chapel went to 3A, and then we didn't see them again for a couple of years. They'll come back as a conference game around 2000, I believe 13, 14. It's a 1st down play. This is Jamal Johnson. He's got some running room as he gets to the 25 to 30. 35, 40. Johnson busts down the sideline. It'll be a foot race. He's going to be out of bounds, knocked out of bounds, at the 31-yard line. So that is a 55-yard run by Jamal Johnson. And Junction City rotating players in and out now, trying to, like I said, they brought up some freshmen and have played some of them, I believe, already. Williams checks in. Williams gets the call here and goes over the 25 to the 24-yard line. It'll be about an 8-yard run for Williams, so 2nd and 2. In the 3rd quarter, Warren over DeWitt, 49-7. Warren's homecoming. Junction City's homecoming here. Of course, El Dorado with their homecoming. So everybody a little celebrating. Williams gets the call again. Williams drives to the 15. And a flag down in the area where it's usually going to be the dreaded holding call. Let's see. Pretty sure, yep. Williams' run had give the Dragons a 1st down. Instead, it will, let's see where they're marking it from. Yep, it will take away the 1st down and almost put the ball down on the 28-yard line where they're going to spot it. So it goes back to, instead of 1st and 10, it'll be 2nd and 7. They'll give it to Williams again. Williams looking for some running room. Now he's got some flags fly. And Williams has the first down, looks like, but let's wait and see what this call is. This comes from the secondary. And I believe probably going to be a hold again. And it is. So another first down run by Williams is wiped out. And the ball will be placed at the 33-yard line, excuse me. So 2nd and 12 from the 33. 4:15 remaining in the game. Junction City in command, 60-28. Williams on the call. Williams is going to swing it outside, running room, 30, 25. He does a little judder step, goes to the 10. Will make it the 11, but it's good enough for a Junction City first down. And the Dragons can get another first down without scoring. Clock goes under 4 minutes. Dragons with a fresh set of downs go to work. They'll feed Williams again. He lowers his shoulder, goes over the 10 to the 9, around the 8-yard line. And we have a Parkus Chapel player down on the field. And we are going to step away for 30 seconds while that's going on, and we'll be back. They're still attending to the Parkus Chapel player that is down. Clock, they have officials and the coaches talked over. They kept the clock running. As you can tell, the wind is still blowing hard here at the Muse. It is definitely getting cold. And as you can tell, if you look at the field, it's blowing homecoming decorations off the floats, blowing them across the field. Next week, we'll be coming to you from Calhoun County. Junction City will take on Hampton, who is a winner over Bearden tonight. Pretty sure it was 43-0 last we saw in that game. And that'll be another big battle in the 8AA for the Dragons. And then, of course, like I said, they got Bearden after that. Junction City's goal, of course, win out, grab the 2 seed for the playoffs. They'll have a couple of players back from injury protocol. So hopefully the Dragons will start getting back to full steam. Clock is closing in on the 1:15 mark. And we've been giving you scores throughout the night, what's going on in around the state. Like it's a conference play. People wanting to know, of course, everybody's keeping a close eye on the 6 because that seems where other than Fordyce, that's where the power lies in the AA classification. And they've got the young man up and moving. That's good to see. But the clock is down to about 30 seconds. They've kept it running. Parkus Chapel coach Elliott Jacobs and Coach Brad Smith talking. And I don't think Junction City is going to say, no, we're not running another play, and they should. Our final score will be Junction City 60, Parkus Chapel 28. There's a couple, I believe it was 3 Trojan players that were hurt tonight. We hope they're all okay, and good reports on all of them. That's going to be it. The final score here tonight from Paul H. Muse Field, Junction City 60, Parks Chapel 28 for Denton Ashcraft. I'm Wayne Pumphrey. Everyone have a blessed and wonderful weekend, and we will see you next week, Calhoun County. Good night.